It's a beautiful day to you, our lovely and smart real estate investors, both at home and also in diaspora. The very first thing I want you to do for us today is to, subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, and at the same time, share this channel with a lot of people. Now, I'm giving you reason why you should. Number one, we're spending a lot of money in, investigating, giving you, um, real estate facts the way they are here in Lagos, Nigeria. And when you share this video, you might be saving somebody the stress or the loss of making a property that they will end up regretting if they purchased one. So when you see a company or individual that is giving a whole lot to ensure that your safety is guaranteed, then you know very well that one of the ways you can encourage that person to do more, one of the way you can, of course, support what he or she is doing is to subscribe and, of course, beckon on others to do so. So share this video. Somebody may need the information we're about to share today. This video might save somebody millions of naira. We know how hard you guys work under the snow, under harsh weather condition, and it's always a concern for us if people who work that hard, might make terrible real estate decisions. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Ketu axis of investment, and we're going to be sharing some of the discovery we have. So I want to quickly say kudos to my team, my surveyor, and obviously my partner, that's Mr. Rabiu. We all are doing a fantastic job. And like we said, we spend a lot of money. Like to chart a property presently is 50,000 naira if you want a detailed charting from Alausa. So these are some of the sacrifices we make just to ensure that you get the very best. So we're going to be talking about K2 investments today. Of course, I know a lot of realtors have said um, valuable information that you need to know about the regions. But what I'll be doing basically is that I'll be sharing some discoveries of what we found out in that area. There was a particular time we did a series on why um, some developers sell completed properties to investors like you, but whether you're at home or also you're in diaspora. So today is actually a confirmation of some of the information and some of the investment tips that we shared. So today we are going to be showing you a lot of chat results that we done. So today is practical. We're tired of just saying. A lot of people was asking me, we are not seeing most of the results. We're not seeing some of you are the one that have the information. So don't worry, just get yourself a cold glass of water, a cold glass of wine, of course, a hot cup of coffee, and just relax because value, like we've always been doing, will be added today. So today I'm going to be sharing some important information, and like I said, share this video with somebody. This information may save somebody millions of dollars, millions of naira, depending on of course, the currency you spend wherever you are. Now, as at yesterday, we had the opportunity to um, acquire another property in a location. Of course, it was not me. Our MD and our group of surveyors went there, and when we chatted that place, now the very first thing is that I'll be showing you the survey as I'm talking. Now, when we chatted that place, we found out that that particular property fall under the coastal road. I know most of you have been anticipating. Of course, I had a lot of questions. When is the coastal road going to start? Where is it going to connect from? Now, we charted the property basically, and we found out that the property falls under the coastal road. Now, we are in a period where families are desperate to sell properties to companies. As you can see, for some of us, of course, in case you're seeing this video later, we are making this video now that we are gradually moving to the Ilea festival. So one of the things I want you all to understand is that families are very, very desperate to sell land. So regardless of the status or the title of the property, they are eager to sell. So when our team of surveyors charted the property, of course, that's the chart result, we found out that that property falls under the coastal region. Now, you can recall vividly we said that the reason why some developers buy committed properties to sell is just because of the desire to stay in the market. It's quite heartbreaking to find out that despite the fact that people are making awareness, some people still choose to be dubious over some of these things we've said. So that is the chart result. The property falls under coastal region, and whoever is going to buy that property will be losing the money in the future. I know you've heard series of how people bought property many years ago at Lekki Phase 1 for 100,000, 500,000, 200,000. I know you heard the story, but I hope you also heard the later part of the story that for those who were able to sell those property for good title, for good amount of money, did a lot of title perfection that allows her. Now, let me tell you one thing about one of the advantage of perfecting your title. Now, the thing is, when the title of your property is perfected, you get to sell at a high price. I've seen instances whereby we have two properties facing each other, and one sold for 30 million naira and the other one sold for 8 million naira. So what's now the difference? They are both in the same location, but obviously the title obviously made a great difference. So we later left that place and we decided to check other places. Now, the emphasis is on Ketu, and I want you to get yourself a pen and to write some of the things I'll be sharing. Now, when you look at Ketu as a region, Ketu is just a few minutes drive from Isimi, Lagos, and Ketu connects Epe to the Ikorodu access road. Now, in this series, we'll be sharing the types of acquisitions that we have at Ketu. We have a military acquisition in Ketu. We have the coastal region acquisition in Ketu. We also have the seaport. Of course, there's a proposed seaport, but that project will be kicking up in 2030. So we have the coastal line acquisition in Ketu. So if you're charting the Ketu axis, most of your chart results, if the property happens to be a committed property, will fall under those title, and of course those acquisition title that I have mentioned earlier. So we charted the property just yesterday, and we found out that that property falls under the military acquisition. Now, this is where, permit me to use this word. Sometimes when we make interactions like this, for the word, for our video to make a lot of sense, we want to use some of our indigenous language as a means of communication. And the thing is, some people get mind though. So some people have the effrontery and the boldness to acquire a landed property that is designated for military barracks. So that's Nigeria for you. So these, of course, looking at the video, that's the discovery. And fast forwarding to some area, there's a place that was gazetted many years ago at Ekpe, and of course that's the chat result there. And we found out that the gazette has been revoked. Now, we've said this several times that when you are making a real estate investment decision, now the reason why most people, the emphasis of our discussion today is that the reason why most investors fall under these circumstances is due to the fact that a lot of people want to buy cheap properties. I've said this several times that when you see a property that are at the same location, and one is selling for 1.5 and the other is selling for maybe 800 or 600 or 500,000, you should know that there are great differences in terms of title. It's not just about the location. For a developer to sell a property 900, 1.5 is due to the fact that a lot of things have been put into considerations. Now, I'm not trying to say you should not buy cheap properties. I also need to reiterate the fact that not all cheap properties are committed. I'm saying this again. Not all cheap properties, but majority of the cheap properties that we have. I said this before, that we are in the Ileya period where a lot of people, where a lot of families are desperate to sell off their properties, raise money for the Ileya festival at the detriment of other people. This is why you've got to be careful. I spoke with a woman few years ago. The woman got, of course, she got my professional advice. I explained a lot of things to her. She still went ahead to. Let me tell you something. There are some realtors out there who don't care about your welfare. It's just quite unfortunate that people fall into these circumstances despite the fact that you have told them the truth. Investors, stick to a brand that tells you the truth. Stick to a company that is always protecting your interest. Stop moving from one company to another. If you have multiple properties from a company, it's better. You can monitor your investments. You can follow up every every other information. And of course, and when it comes to title perfection, it becomes easier if you have concentrated all your investments in a place that has integrity. The reason why many people are falling prey to this is because of the fact that I've spoken with some realtors. Some realtors will tell you that the reason why they are selling cheap properties because that is what many people prefer. You need to understand the difference so that we're making this video just for you to to be aware of the circumstances that is going on in our industry. Our industry used to be a fair industry where people are always telling you the truth, where people represent some have some demonstrate some level of integrity. But right now the country is hard. People just want to sell and make money. So it's not about this your safety. It's not about in fact, some people will even tell you that the reason why they sell cheap property to you is because you buy it more than those expensive properties. Let me say this again: not all cheap properties are bad, but majority of them are not safe. So you need to understand this. So in case you're coming across this channel for the first time, this is where we talk about everything real estate. So I want to appeal to you again. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, and share this video. Now, on the final note, if you must buy a property at that Ketu region, knowing fully well of the circumstances we have, is either you go there with your surveyor to confirm the authenticity of the property. Because if you end up buying that property and you request for a refund, let me tell you what happens here. You don't get your complete money when they are refunding you. An administrative fee, some companies charge 30%, some companies charge 40%, and some companies charge, well, it depends. Like I said, company policies differs. But the truth of the matter is, by the time they remove all those administration fees, it's just like they've spoiled the money for you. So in order for you to avoid such circumstances, work with us. Work with us. I have all the records. We have all the records. We have all the information. We know the safety and we know where else to go. So to save you the stress, you can contact us. Please, nobody should be calling me to be saying they bought a property 7 years somewhere. No, I can't possibly do that. I've received several requests, and I also need to reiterate the fact that we are developers, we're selling properties. We and I'm not a surveyor. I've said this, I'm not a surveyor. I'm not, of course, I know my dressing looks corporate, but I'm not a surveyor and I'm not a lawyer. Yes, I need to make that. I'm a realtor. I help people make safe. We as a company help people make safe and of course reliable real estate investment. So in case you have questions, you can ask, you can drop on the comment section. We have a team of professional surveyors and legal team that can help you handle your property acquisition from the start to the finish. Remember, we told you that the start to the finish is not buying acquisition. The start to finish is we buy, and of course we ensure that everything is in order. Thank you very much, and I hope you have gotten value from this. See you in our next video. Have a nice day. Bye.